Okay, this is the last video that I'm going to have in this series for our skills, and this is one that I've just added in. It's not one that was part of the original series, but I think it's one that's going to be important for you guys to be able to produce your work at the end of the day. It's also really handy in terms of being able to submit your final presentations and things like that. So on the screen here, we've got our 3D model of the building that we've been working on, our completed structure. In your case, this will be the end product of the formative work that you've got to do, your own little design that showcases all those skills, but the process that we're going to follow here will be exactly the same for any project that you do. So if we look at our project browser on the side here, we can see that we've got two sheets of information there. One of those is A101. If I open that up, on that we have our floor plan of our building, and we have our 3D view towards our building. And on the second sheet, which is there, we have the detail views there and there of two different parts, and we've got a section through view through the building. So we've got two sheets that we're going to work with. Now, rather than just handing up and submitting these two sheets, what we're going to do is in this lesson is to look at how we're going to produce those in a PDF format and make them a little bit easier to submit and a bit easier to work with. So there's two options you can do that. In 2023, you do have a PDF button at the top of the screen. We'll go through a couple of different processes. If I was to click that, it comes up with this window here, and it says, do you want to export the current window, the visible portion of current window, or selected views and sheets? We want to click on that third option there. And we've got in brackets in session. We can also edit that by clicking on the little pencil there. And then it'll open up all the things that are in our project so far. So we've got all different views, ceiling views, elevation views, etc. that we could include. We would only want to produce the two sheets that we have made. So picking those two sheets there, selecting those are the ones that we would then select. We can rename that, and we could call it like your name would be a great idea. So you could go formative assessment and then your name, so you know whose it is. And we're going to combine all the sheets into a single file. Yes, that's good. Where do we want to save those? This is going to go into my documents folder. If you want to browse somewhere else, you could put that into your OneDrive, which would be a really good smart way of doing it. So if you were to click on browse, it'll come up with this window. You can then navigate to your OneDrive. So for me, that is there, 2023, and I'll save that into our non-sustainable design. And let's just go to that one. So it's going to put them in there. Use the sheet size. So if we'd set these to A3 when we made them, it'll use that size to create them. So just leave that as it is. Paper placement, leave that as center. Leave all this alone, and then just hit export. And then what you should have once it's finished doing this process, and you can see that it's trying to processing that down the bottom of the screen. Oops. So we'll just let it run through that process for a sec. And then hopefully, we've got a bit of a error there, but don't worry, a warning I should say, not an error. That's okay, let's go with that. All right, so I think it appears that it has done that. So let's go into our sustainable design folder, and we should be able to find formative assessment, Andrew Hudson. Let's open that up. And what you'll get, if I can drag my PDF viewer across here, is a PDF document that contains 2 pages, so one of two pages there of both sheets. So there's sheet 1, there is sheet 2. Easy as that, and then you can email or submit that document via your task sheet, task on Domap to me. The other thing that you could do prior to doing that, which I forgot about, is you can actually then go down here. You can edit the sheet. If we go into that, is you can put in your name there. And then if you've got a project name, you can put that in your sheet as well. So you can make that look a little bit better. But that's how the first way of doing it, is to go to the PDF button there and do that. Second option is if you go to File, and you go down to Print, and Print. And in your printer window, if you click on that, you should have Adobe PDF in there, or you might also have Microsoft Print the PDF. They should do the same things. I'm going to use the Adobe one. Again, it's the same sort of process. So we can create multiple selected view sheets into a single file. That's the one I want to get. Name where my file is going to go. So I'm going to browse. I'll put that in the same folder that we just did a minute ago. So let's go back into our OneDrive 2023 Sustainable Design. Let's call this that's okay. Maybe I'll write test behind it so we know. If you don't, and click on save. And then down here we've got selected views and sheets. Again, we can select that, select the two sheets that we've got, which are already checked. And then we can just go from that point to OK. It'll run through that same process of where do we want the file saved as. Well, we already picked that, so I'm not sure what it's asking us, but the scope, just roll with it. You can see then now it's processing the information. Hopefully this works. Taking a bit of time to think about that, so let's just wait a little bit more. Alright, so unfortunately the Adobe PDF, that did not work. It hung on that point and just stayed there. So let's try the other one. Let's go back in there and do exactly the same process. This time let's choose the Microsoft Print the PDF. Still do the same thing, combining into a single file. Still make sure it's the same to sheet selected. And then it's going into the same space. And then click OK. Prompt us again, which it has, so let's call this test files will do. So we're saving it into the same folder. Not sure why it's asking us for that if we've actually specified where that's going to go. Now that looked like it had done that, so let's open up this, and what do we call it? Test files. There it is there. Let's see if we can open that up. Open. There it is there. Again, one of two pages. And so there's our two sheets there that we can now email through. So that's the two processes. I'm not sure why the Adobe one hung up and didn't work, but that's what I'd like you to do. So after you've finished your design, do all your work, put it on the sheet. So these sheets are your evidence of your skills. In the sheet, you'll be able to see that you can add the levels. I can see that you've added the stairways. I can see that you've got a roof, a floor. You can do detail views. You can do annotations. What else was there that we had done? If we go to the other view, I can see that you can put in curtain walls, doorways, mezzanine floors there. That might be negotiable. I can see that you can put a measurement in there. Section views in there, 3D views in there. So all of those things are evidence that you are able to do that project and the skills that you need to do. So you're providing that evidence to me of your project. That's it for this video. Hopefully that's a pretty easy process to understand and to do, but that's the way of producing some PDF documents of your work. Thanks for watching.